Jim Quayle, thank you for coming in. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Great to meet you. We're all going to talk about these excellent screen prints, which you've got one in front of you here. You basically run Dorothy, don't you?
Well, it's me and a collective of friends, yeah. But the what we're looking at right now is something that, I've been working on for the last probably year, or it's been sort of growing out of my thinking for a long time, maybe even life. It's trying to distill a life spent around loving music and loving live venues. So I've been doing this for a while now.
And what's the significance of the actual name Dorothy, the choice there?
We keep it sort of like open to people's interpretation, but I like to think of it as there's a group of us and we're going somewhere and we're going with our friends and we don't know where we're going, but we're doing it all together.
Beautiful. How long have you been designing? How long have you been sort of interested in this area? Quite a while.
Yeah, well, I've been a designer for probably 20 years now, really. But what we've been doing in Dorothy is we've been making prints and products around things that we love for probably about 10 years and just shaping things around our interests. So I tend to do a lot of sort of graphical explorations of musical genres and music and film and pop culture and just stuff that I like and want to think about.
That's brilliant. And I've seen the new one here, and that's why we got you in to talk about one of your most recent projects you've been working on. Is it a graphical history of Liverpool's musical landscape? Magnificent in front of us here, you're looking at it. But tell us more about it. Tell us more about the one you've got right in front of you on the desk.
It's our first sort of, I don't know how you'd call it, but like all the other prints have been a distillation of kind of what I think about music and trying to make connections and sort of understand how genres form. But this was sort of an open thing. So we wanted to sort of explore Liverpool and Merseyside and its musical history and heritage, particularly the venues and the scenes that coalesce around them. I'm like fascinated by musical scenes and how they grow. And we wanted to open it up to people. So it's been really democratic in a way that we started with a rough skeleton of a print, sort of giving a rough idea of a few venues. And then we threw it open to people to say, like, you get involved with this. I mean, I want to include everyone's experiences because, just going off what I've experienced isn't enough, really. I wanted to be able to get people from every generation to be able to feed in, from every sort of area, from every genre of music that could become involved. And people like me who are music fans, people who are actually involved with the scenes, people in bands, people who just run venues. And so we made a rough skeleton that people could sort of graffiti. So we put it up and just left some pens out and just said, what have you experienced? Where have you been to? What were the important things for you? Who were the bands that you saw at those places? And people got so involved with it. It just went from the basic skeleton, and before we knew it, it was absolutely full. There was no space left for people to contribute, and it was just full of like stories, people's stories in a way that I would stand next to this print that people could graffiti. They would tell you their stories of their experiences, and it just came alive really from what people have seen.
And there was another similar thing many years back, Pete Frame's Rock History. Do you remember that? Which is, you can get the books now as well, can't you, of that one as well? But this is very Liverpool focused, but it covers all decades, all styles, maps out so many areas and different decades as well. But you've got everything from the venues to the artists. It's there's so much involved here, isn't there?
Well, I hope so. I hope there's lots of little Easter eggs in there that people see that are important to them. Like, I tried to get into touch with as many artists as I could find that I could reach out to and just sort of say, tell us about, obviously your band and your band's story, but like, what were the important places to you? Like the places that you'd gather together to, or places that you would rehearse, and I wanted to get the stories that weren't just the big stories, the classic ones that everyone talks about, like Cavern and Eric's and Cream. What were the other little bits that are so important? Like what were the coffee houses that you might have met at? What was the location that you rehearsed songs at? Yeah, and I just tried to get as much in as possible.
You've done very well, and you've also got it to present day with the likes of Modern Sky and a lot of the introducing artists that we've played in the last couple of years as well.
Well, yeah, the hope is to keep it going. I want it to be an ongoing project that'll be like, this city is so vibrant. There's always new things happening. There's always new things to discover, as you show. That like I want to keep discovering things, and I want to keep charting that. And as people discover it, it'd be great if they could share it with us and just keep this project going and continuing.
And you've got that nice link, Jim, with Rough Trade as well.
They've been great. They're such great supporters of us, really. We've been really lucky to be knowing them for. They've stocked our prints in all of their shops for quite a few years now. And then as they've come to Liverpool, they've really, they always show our work and they really support us. And they're a great bunch to work with, really.
For listeners now are hearing this and wanting to see the actual, what you've got in front of you here, the visuals, the prints, online presence, tell us a few links and where people can maybe get all this, because this would make a really nice Christmas present as well, wouldn't it?
I hope so. Yeah, if you love music and if you love Merseyside, then you kind of got everything covered. But yeah, you can see it at our website, which is wearedorothy.com. You can see it in real life in our studio space, which is in the Baltic Triangle, sort of opposite the clock mural. And of course, it's in rough trade, where there's the actual print that is the saleable print, but there's the original one available for graffitiing and putting in your experiences and hopefully building what's important to you into this project.
Excellent. And I suppose 2025 is already mapped out, to use the significance line there, is mapped out with lots of things happening for you and the company next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're continuing to make sort of prints and products around things that interest us. We've got, as well as the studio upstairs in our Baltic Triangle studio, we have a gallery space downstairs where we always have revolving shows that are thematically linked to things that we care about. So at the moment, we're showing the graphic art of disco. So it combines like our mapping of the history of disco and people's connections, but also we've brought in artists who were really important in the disco movement. Particularly, we're showing the work of an artist called Jim McMullen, who illustrated the article in the New York Times, which was sort of taken and developed to become the movie Saturday Night Fever. So we're showing his work, which is really, really nice.
Great work. Nice to talk to you, Jim. Thank you for popping in, telling us all about it. I'm going to play Red Rum Club.
That'd be great. Thanks for having us.
Nice one. Thank you, Jim.